Hello and welcome to the New World Championships, a Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series event. This is our FPO feature card, round 1, back 9 coverage. I'm Holly Finley.
And I'm Maria Oliva, and we are super excited to get round 1 over with. After 9 holes, Deanne's still 2 down. She's got us all by at least 1, and we'll see what she's got the last back 9. Hole 10 is a par 4, 680 feet. This one is definitely a crush to get the birdie. Yeah, two full-size drives, and usually you're kind of left with circle's edge putt. But yeah, it plays tough. I think every time we've been out here, it's been ripping wind. Luckily, I think today and yesterday we had a tailwind, so it makes you kind of get your bombs out there, but still tricky with the OB on the right side.
Sarah Hokom up first, and she is going for it with a driver. She clears the OB, and Hokom lands safe in the fairway.
And on the drive, you definitely want to bite off as much as you can, but yeah, you got to keep it in bounds, and that's the trickiest part.
Weese goes for the flex shot. It's a
looking
lot of
good.
height on it, and it's coming back nicely. Yeah. She's safe in the fairway. Yeah, like you said, it's really 2 full-size drives to sniff the birdie on this hole. We've got Jordan Lynds up next. A nice backhand shot. It's flat. It's looking good. Ooh. She clears the OB barely, and she is safe in bounds.
Yeah, that OB little ditch there definitely sneaks up on you if you throw your drive just a little too low.
Chloe Alice has a lot of distance, and she gets way out there with a great shot in the fairway. Lynds up first. Now, you do have the out-of-bound golf green right behind the sand trap, so you can either choose to short it of the golf green, which is another layup, or try to go around or past it to get that birdie look.
Yeah. And like you said, I think that's the trickiest part of the hole is that little green, because if you don't really get that much distance on your drive, you're going to land on the green, like unfortunately Sarah just did.
And not what you want to see here, right in the middle of that out-of-bounds golf green. Let's see if Chloe decides to go for it or lay it up here for her second shot. Oh, that's going for it. It's shaping up nice. High hyzer past the green.
Yeah, just a little off to the left, but she's definitely got a long look at it.
Yeah, downhill circle 2 putt for Chloe Alice. Weese looks like she's setting up the hyzer aggressive shot. Boom.
Oh yeah, super hyzer.
She smashes that into the sky. Long darts. She's inside the circle for a birdie putt.
Yeah, that was a great upshot.
So this will be Jordan Lynds' third shot. It's a good-looking hyzer. She's on the edge of circle, putting for par.
Yeah. The only other trouble you find on this hole is on this second or third upshot. You can kind of blast it and get behind these trees right here, which kind of obstruct your putt, but looks like none of these ladies did that today.
Hokom with a smooth upshot. She'll have an easy par putt. Chloe Alice for birdie. And she airballs that. She knows it right out of her hand, and she'll have a pretty hefty comeback.
Jessica for her 3. Just left.
Yeah, it doesn't connect with the basket at all. But the comeback isn't too bad because Jessica has a nice, lofty, slower putt. This is Jordan Lynds for par. She gets it.
Putt.
All right, Jordan Lynds back on the par train.
Good comeback putt from Chloe.
I like her little happy jogs.
I was just
to
about
the
to say,
next
I like her
destination.
hair
Me
flowing
too,
in the
bouncing
wind.
and flowing. Hokom trying to aim a little lower due to the headwind. And if you didn't know, that is a pro tip. So unfortunately, Sarah gets a bogey there. on hole 10, but Weese captures the par.
Yeah, you hate to see those little short ones, but
That one got away from her. Let's check out hole 11, par 3, 263 feet. It's nice to have this wooded gem here amongst this golf course style setup. What you want to do is a straight shooter just right to this wooden structure. There's a lot of trees to hit on the way there, and it's windy. So as long as you can just get a straight flyer somewhere in the circle, try to get a birdie putt here. Coming in at only 263, I feel like you kind of let one go if you don't get a birdie putt here.
yeah, this really feels like such a must get, but honestly, it's a lot harder than it seems. Just, I mean, it's a straight shot. It's right there, not too far, but you definitely got to curve your disc.
Weese ends up outside the circle, and Lynds does such an unusual mistake and hits that fence. She makes it only about 45 feet off the tee, but par's still doable from there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this hole's tricky if you hit any tree, but getting the par is definitely not too hard.
Chloe Alice with a nice sidearm. She sneaks up there, and she'll have a long look at birdie. Hokom with a nice hyzer flip, but she hits that diagonal branch, kicks over into the woods, so she'll have to play for par.
Yeah, I'm sure she wanted to flip that just a little earlier.
It's crucial that Jordan gets this upshot within putting range to save par. It's high. It's pushing it.
It's looking good.
I mean, that could be a putt.
Yeah, I think
You
definitely
know,
obstructed, but
Yeah,
who
if
knows
you're
what
one
she'll
of
come out
those
with.
trick shot style putters, you might like that setup. So this is Sarah Hokom's second shot.
Ooh, just a little inside for Sarah.
Yeah,
seems
she
to be
gets
a little.
caught up, and she'll probably have to play for bogey. That she is doing with a low layup. Very smart.
Yeah, no need to get crazy after 2 errant shots.
Exactly. Whoa!
Ooh.
We have seen Weese in years past throw in those type
Yes.
of random fairway shots, so be no surprise.
I feel like Jessica's always trying to throw in.
Right?
All the time.
And Jordan Lynds just opts for the safe layup. She didn't want any piece of that putt. Chloe sends it. Oh, it had the height.
Yeah, just a little right.
I like the courage.
Yeah, this is one of the few elevated baskets I feel like out here, which for me is amazing. But yeah, I feel like usually on the Pro Tour we see a couple on the course.
Weese saves par with a good putt inside the circle. And a
Just a
band
little
hit
high.
for Chloe. I feel like she didn't take as much time as she normally does.
No.
So she'll be walking away with a bogey here on hole 11.
No, you're right. She definitely always tends to reset on even the short
The
ones. in that one.
routine. Yeah, there was no routine there.
Yeah.
Sarah Hokom also getting a bogey, as well as Jordan Lynds. So Jessica Weese with her only par here on hole 11.
Yeah, you know, strokes on, folks.
Yes,
Usually
ma'am.
a 3, it doesn't do it, but hey,
Today it
whatever
does.
it takes. Hole 12, par 3, 400 feet. This one is pretty straightforward, too. There's a lot of low ceiling and OB on that left side. You really want to, I mean, it's a full drive. Getting the 2 on this hole is very hard just because, again, it's ripping wind most of the time, and you do have to throw it so low to the ground. But I'm sure definitely some of us could get it. I don't see us getting it this weekend just because of how windy it is, but I'm excited to see what these ladies do.
Weese opts for a sidearm, and she just throws it right into the ground. It was a worm burner. She makes it about 150 down the fairway. And you know what? I mean, hey, that's the third of the way there.
Yeah, that's right. And honestly, I think that's the mistake I see most on this hole just because of the low ceiling. I think.
And the OB sort of
yeah.
psychs you out.
Yeah.
Jordan Lynds takes that
beautiful.
right side hyzer gap. She goes under the low limb, and she's set up great to attack this hole for par.
Yeah.
I do like the sidearm play here if you've got the distance for a decent drive.
Yeah, it takes the OB completely out of play. This looks
Whoa.
great.
All right.
Nice.
Flirting with it, but it works out great.
Looks good from Sarah.
Nice skip. She'll have a circle 2 look at it. More than likely playing for par, being
Yeah.
that far away under the branch.
Jess doesn't like that out of her hand, but it definitely works out. I'm sure she wanted to be closer, but
Yeah,
she's
she's inside the
barely.
whiskers for
Yeah.
a par putt.
Chloe having to get down on that knee because of that low tree.
Proposal up shot coming at you. Swinging that sidearm chip inside the circle. She'll have about a 23-footer.
Lots of forehands from this card.
I was just going to say that.
I'm thoroughly impressed.
Nice upshot from Lynds. She'll be putting for par. Hokom, the predominant sidearm player, chooses a backhand upshot, which is just a funny little difference, huh?
I know she's been doing a lot of
She
little
has.
backhand upshots.
And so
they've been.
smooth.
She
Just
has a 2-foot putt left, so
butter.
clearly they're working.
Jessica
was great.
Weese with a nice putt, and she's on the par train still. Looking good on this back 9.
Yeah, and a lot of the par 3s out here are on the tougher side of par 3s, so sometimes you see the card and you're like, man, I've gotten a lot of pars, but they're good out here. You want them.
No shame in par golf.
No.
Hokom with a strong par putt.
It's nice to see a strong dead center putt after a short little miss from the
It
last hole.
is. And well done from the card here on hole 12.
Yeah,
Everyone
star par.
got the par. After 12 holes, Deanne Carey's still in the lead. And my co-host here, Maria's bounced up to second place. Me and Emily Beach in third, and Jessica Weese.
I'm Garrett Gerthy. People know me as Double G. I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
And while Wakona and I are driving, don't have time to stop and eat, so I always have her grab me a small bag of Double G jerky.
You got smashed cracked pepper on Tuesday. Wednesday you got the garlic.
Late in the round, hole 14, you might need a little pick-me-up. Pull out some Double G jerky.
Grab the big bag because you're gonna have to share.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
Welcome back. Here we are on hole 13, a par 3, 382 feet. This is a very challenging par 3 for many reasons. The fairway's thin, out of bounds sidewalk on the left, low ceiling, thick woods on the right. If you have a long sidearm, that would work great here, but that's asking for a lot. A good way to play this hole, just take a mid or a fairway, punch it halfway there, land in bounds, get you a safe upshot, walk away with par.
Yeah, this hole 13 is a tough par 3. I would say probably one of the hardest par 3s on this course. Jess has a really nice drive that cuts through a lot. But yeah, I think everyone can reach this hole. It's just so hard to reach it because it's so low ceiling. It's a really risky shot.
There's not a lot of room for ground play.
Yeah.
You just
Ooh,
look at this
wow,
turnover.
2
2 shots going
Nice.
through the tree. I mean, I need to see a third one now.
Yeah.
Don't let me down, Chloe.
Yeah, even I, who usually don't really disc down for any hole, I'm disking down to a fairway because it's just such a tricky hole.
Chloe goes under the limb, and this is the same shot
come on.
shape we saw earlier. Can it get back in? Can it?
Oh, come on.
By the hair of the
So
disc. Unfortunately,
close.
Chloe does land out of bounds
That was a
here
crush,
on hole
though.
13. Yeah. Hokom wide under the limb. It's out of bounds. It's in bounds. It's a great
Nice.
shot. I love the commitment to that.
Yeah, it's tricky going over that OB.
This is Chloe's third shot since she went out of bounds.
Nice little up. She'll have a tap in 4. Another backhand from Sarah.
A smoothie, it's a little left, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's
it's a
got that all day.
15-footer.
Yeah.
That's practically a bag putt. Jordan Lynds, that's a little low, but we've seen a lot of ground action.
Yeah.
She's in the circle, so
Yeah.
I'd call that a good upshot. Weese with the longest drive of the group.
Yeah, just a little jumper up there. It's a
Yeah,
great shot.
floats it in the circle. Lynds up first from 25.
Just low. It looked good, just a little low.
Needed a little more on it. Weese from 20.
Nice.
Nice. Jessica Weese still on the par train. Looking good here on this back 9.
Yeah, on that back 9, pars are great.
I'll take them all day.
It gets so windy in this back 9, guys. Like, you can see the flags. It's even windier in real life.
Hokom smashes her par putt in. Now we've got Chloe putting for bogey because she did go OB. She's taking her time on this one. I
Nice.
like it. It went in.
Yeah, even the short ones, you got to take your time.
It matters. They all matter. And Lynds also with the bogey. 2 pars, 2 bogeys here on that crazy hole. This is really where the wind picks up.
Yes. Yeah. Hole 14, par 5, 888. Again, like Holly said, this is really where the wind is ripping most on the course, I feel like. And luckily for us, it's a headwind, so that makes it even harder. But yeah, it's a crush. It's definitely every bit of a par 5 with the wind out here. There's OB all on the right side. There's no OB on the left side, but even trickling just a little bit into all these bushes and trees really leaves you with nothing for your next shot, which honestly cuts the hole for you, like, completely. Like, there's really no chance at a par if you either go OB or trickle into the left side of the fairway. But yeah, it's really just a bunch of hyzers. If you can manage to throw some distance hyzers and not go OB and just cut through the wind, should be pretty straightforward.
As Matteo has said before, chip, chip,
Exactly.
chip, chip, putt.
Easy.
Just break it down and it seems real simple. Jessica Weese up first. She does a sidearm turnover shot. I just didn't think that was going to break back, but it did.
I'm surprised she went for a sidearm on this hole, honestly. But
She must be
it was a
feeling
great
more
shot.
confident with that one.
yeah.
Hokom with a backhand off the tee of 14. It's high. She's asking for it to sit down, and she's on the rough. That could be tricky for the second shot. Pitch out fine, a lot of power. We'll see. Lynds up third.
This is looking good. Hopefully that disc is stable. Yeah.
More of a straight shot, and that works out great. She's safe in the fairway.
Yeah. Yeah, and the shot's so tricky just because you feel the headwind on your face, and so you're thinking, okay, do not put this on an anhyzer. And then you hyzer it too much, and then you trickle into the trees, and you're like, oh, cool, I'm out of it.
Chloe has a full send, and she lands safe in the fairway. Okay, Sarah's actually in a little open area
Yeah, she's
here.
definitely got something.
That's favorable.
Yeah.
She has a nice standstill shot, so she's still able to play for par, possibly even birdie from there.
Yeah. Yeah, this hole, you really just want to, honestly, those first 2 shots, you just want to bite off as much distance as you can, and just keep it in the middle.
Jordan Lynds trickles over to the edge of the woods, but she's still out enough that she'll have a decent footing and area to work with over there. Chloe Alice commits. It's powerful and it's high, and I like it.
Yeah.
safe in the middle of the fairway. That's
Great
how I
shot.
like it. You get another run up if you need
Yes.
it. The last
you
thing I
definitely
want
need
is
it.
a standstill here because I just don't have the same power standstill as I do with a run up.
Yeah, no.
Weese with another sidearm shot. That is going places.
Oh, just
And that, I
Just
don't
a
know if that's
little
the
left.
place you want to go, though. But, you know, it is a par 5, and she's basically already
Yeah.
there. So par seems very doable from over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this hole. Like I said, you want to bite off so much distance because the hole does get a little narrower towards the basket, and so you want those last 2 shots to just be as simple as possible, especially with the wind. It's just kind of tight up there.
Absolutely.
Makes this putt really scary.
Oh, Lynds also in a nice little clearing here on the left side. And that's kind of low. Let's see if it, oh,
Ooh, worm burner, but just not enough.
yeah,
Nose up.
no scoot on that.
Mm.
But she can still play for par, so
Yeah.
everything's looking fine so far.
Yeah.
Chloe Alice has gotten a lot of distance, so if she wanted, she could possibly be aggressive for birdie. But she doesn't swing it towards the OB at all. That was a very conservative, safe shot.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely a little timid there, I'm sure.
No harm in that.
This isn't as bad as it could be for Jess. Definitely tricky, but
You're right.
she definitely had something, and that's beautiful.
How brave was that shot going finishing towards the OB sidewall?
Yeah, that's-
aggressive standstill from
She does
the
some
woods.
crazy sidearms.
Yeah, she's my favorite sidearm player.
Yeah.
It's just so powerful.
Jessica has extreme angles with all
Yes,
her shots.
it's the angle
great.
control.
It's really fun to watch. Not a lot of people do what she does.
Hokom gets inside the circle with her upshot.
Jordan
That needs
hanging
to come
out
back.
wide, but yeah.
Ooh, it didn't have a strong finish, but it worked out fine. Oh, Chloe with another proposal chip shot. You know, I
Nice.
like doing that as well if it's
On the
really
knee?
windy because I'm 5'10", and
Yeah.
I'm just that much closer to the ground.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm taking out extra variables, you know?
I feel that. Ooh, very nice putt.
Solid par putt from Jordan. This is Jessica Weese for birdie from about 15. She gets
Nice.
it.
It's a great birdie on this hole. With some crazy shots too. That was
Right?
great. That was
I am
great.
super impressed with the way she played that. Chloe
putt.
Alice with a good par putt here on hole 14. Look at the wind.
Shaking that hair. Yeah, these little tap-ins don't feel like tap-ins out here.
No, nothing is a give me
Scurry.
anymore when the hurricane winds are about. So Hokom captures a par there, and that's what you're looking for. Let's check out hole 15. This is only 215 feet. It's a par 3, but you've got these double mandos indicated by the orange markers on both trees. Also, it places an island green. So you have to hit the island, and you have to make both of the mandos. I feel like if you don't get a birdie here, you're losing strokes to the field. Jessica Weese up first. It's low, but it looks powerful.
Oh.
Not powerful enough to get over the wall. She's not safe. She'll be playing from the drop zone.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest misses I see from us on this hole. I think because it's so short, we're just trying to not blow past it and just come up a little short.
Ooh, Hokom nearly throws it in.
That was tasty.
She'll have about a 20-footer putting for birdie. Lynds with a backhand shot.
Good. Nice angle control.
Very nice. She's inside the island putting for birdie. There's a lot of space to work with there.
There is. When you get
There's
there,
no
you're like,
reason
oh.
to be low because it's a lot of landing zone behind the basket.
I think it's just because of how elevated the tee pad is that it just makes you feel like, man, I could just blow past this so easily.
Chloe Alice with the CTP of the group. Oh no, Weese didn't put enough height on that, and she is out of bounds again. After being on such a great stretch here on this back 9, she puts a lot of height on that one, absolutely
just a
making it
little more
safe. But she
time.
didn't even take time to aim it. She just, you did the angry throw. We all know about the angry throw.
I know, the angry throw.
We
It's
all
the
know it too
worst.
well. Jordan Lynds for birdie. She gets it.
What a great putt. She has a nice stroke.
She does. In different styles. She has a laser for the wind. She has an arced putt.
Yes.
I mean, I'm
I've
seeing a lot of
noticed that.
versatility in her skills.
Yeah, good stuff.
Alice for bird. She gets it. All right, that's 2 birds so far.
Bang, bang.
Hokom for the 3rd bird.
Let's go.
That's it. Count it.
Yeah, these ladies played this hole great.
Jessica Weese. And that's a good putt, especially considering 3 mistakes off of the tee, basically. Way to pull it back in and just move on to the next there, Jess. Let's check out the leaderboard after 15 holes.
Yeah, Deanne's still going strong. Holly right there with her. I'm right after Holly and
you
Sarah. We're all just trying to catch Deanne. Hole 16, par 3, 240 feet. Another hole that seems fairly easy. It definitely feels like a must get just because of how short it is, but definitely not an easy get. It's a really tight gap. This is really the gap that you have to hit to even get a par or a putt. And hitting any of these trees usually kicks you right or left, and it's very tricky to get back to the basket if you're off to any of those sides. There's a lot of low-hanging limbs and some bushes that are kind of hard to throw over.
I love having another wooded shot here amongst this golf course style setup. Hokom's drive hits a tree on the left side, and she'll have a long look at it, but depending on the wind, which is significant today, you might just want to play it for par. Jordan Lynds up next. It's a nice straight shot, but it's finishing early left, and that could be a putt if you wanted it to be.
For sure. Yeah, getting through that second gap definitely gives you a look at the birdie.
Chloe Alice with a sidearm, and she hits a tree and kicks to the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, favorable kick, but yeah, she might be a little tucked on that right side.
Weese opts for a flip-up sidearm shot. She ricochets off the tree and
That's a
goes
long
to
putt,
circle
though.
2.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, Alice is just looking for a nice chip shot into the green here. Clips a tree, clips another tree, and she doesn't get there. She'll have to play for bogey unless she throws it in from the fairway. See if Hokom can get into the green cleanly here. She takes a nice left side gap, and that was an aggressive skip. Look at the wind. You can really see the branches picking up. That could be a tester putt.
And again, look at this little par 3, 240 feet. Like I said, anywhere off to the sides.
Did you see the wind get under that one? It turned into a kite all of a sudden, you know?
Yeah, and that's another thing about this little hole. It's like it's so tight, but when you get out to the green, you're
the
like...
green is open.
Yeah.
The fairway is guarded. The green is open.
Yeah, you almost feel no wind.
Exactly.
In the hole, and then you start to putt, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, surprise wind at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we have Weese for birdie from about 60 feet. She's probably saw how errant those other shots were, and she said, you know what, I'm just going to lay this up as close as possible. But you could just hear the wind out there.
Yeah. You can see the flags.
All right, this hole is getting away from Chloe, and she really needs to reel it in here, try to clean this up ASAP. See if Hokom can get a par on hole 16.
Nice.
She does it. All right. The wind seemed to calm down by the time the ladies made it to the putting green.
Yeah, it's just gusty. You never really know when it's going to pick up.
There we go. So Alice walking away with a double here on 16. You can see her body language gets a little bit slower. There's no happy jog.
No happy jog
No
there.
happy jog.
Jordan taking her time on the shorty. Nice.
Another good par putt from Lynds. And Weese with the smart layup. Really easy par. And Jessica Weese's back nine is looking great except for that one error.
Yeah.
Here we are on hole 17, 426-foot par 3. This is a tricky hole. Everything on the right side of the sidewalk is inbounds. Once you get past the ditch, it's out of bounds. Now, if you have enough distance, you can swing it between the out of bounds ditch and the paywall you see on the right side. All of that's inbounds as it leads towards the basket. It takes a lot of distance. You have to hug the inside corner, push the height to even get a sniff at this birdie. I think Maria Oliva could do it. I don't know if anyone on this card will be going for it. I'm curious to see. Hokom opts for the safe layup on the right side landing zone.
This hole's honestly not even worth going for.
You know what?
So treacherous.
That is the most wise thing you have said all day. Weese decides that she's going for it. She sends it, and she doesn't make it out of bounds in the ditch. And even if she did make it inbounds, I guess the plus would be that much shorter and easier of an upshot.
Yeah, but honestly,
really
it just doesn't matter on this hole.
100-foot upshot should be a stock standard in everyone's bag at this point in this level of the game.
I agree. Like, going for it literally, I think, gives you maybe 50 to 100 feet of distance.
Right.
But even then, the upshot is still only 200 feet. So it's just get the three, ladies.
Not worth the risk.
Not worth
Chloe
it.
Alice ends up out of bounds in the ditch as well with Jessica Weese. Now we have Jordan Lynds.
Great shot.
Smooth up shot. She'll be putting from about 20. And once you see the difference between the risk shot and the safe shot, you're like, you know what? The safe shot's the way to go.
Yeah.
Hokom with a hyzer, and she'll have about a 50-footer looking at par. The wind is always blowing right to left up there by the green, and your disc essentially is acting like a kite the more angle you put on it. And I just keep seeing more and more upshots getting swept over away from the basket. You really have to counteract that. And Weese gets kind of up there for a putt. It could be a tester. Looks to be barely inside the circle.
Chloe, her up shot. It's looking very nice.
Ooh, a drop in.
We love that.
Hokom looks like she might be deciding, is this a go for it or a layup? She stared it down.
This looks like a layup.
And she said it's a layup.
Yeah.
Nobody wants a bogey on 17, but smart golf is good golf most of the time.
Just a little low from Jessica.
Yeah, she gives it a decent bid, though.
Jordan for her three. Nice. Yeah, putt
Very
looks
nice
so
par.
solid.
Doesn't it, though?
Looks great. She takes her time. She has a slow come down. It's great.
And Weese with the brave bag putt, tapping in a double bogey here on hole 17. And that's unfortunate because aside from that other blemish, you know, her back nine was looking really clean.
I know, she really just let two holes really get away from her. Otherwise, it was a great looking back nine.
Bogey for Sarah and Chloe. Jordan getting the only par there on hole 17.
All right, we're here. Hole 18, par 5, 860 feet. This hole is a doozy, to say the least. You want to crank your drive as far up here as you can. Usually we're all landing about right here where the sand trap is. The sand trap does not play OB, but this golf green does. And then, yeah, you're basically just trying to get your second shot across this golf green into this area right here where the Mando is. And it's a Mando, we're throwing to the left of the Mando. And from there, it's a turnover / straight shot to the basket, but very guarded to start off with, and it opens up to some OB sidewalk. So definitely super tricky hole, very Very shape shot worthy.
One nice feature they allowed here at the finish is the golf green that we just flew over, and as Maria mentioned, the sand hazards aren't actually playing as hazard or OB, so that could essentially just be a landing catch-all area if you're into that sort of course play.
Yeah. And just to note, the second golf green that we did see closer to the basket is not playing OB, just the front one.
Correct. Which is very generous.
Yes, we love that.
Hokom with a great drive going right towards that sand trap, and she hyzers just away from it. She's in great position on the right side.
Yeah, and there's 2 landing zones on this hole, I feel like, from the tee pad. You can either hyzer out right in front of the sand trap and be on the left side of the fairway and kind of have a straight look at the at the Mando gap, or as most of us are going to that right side, and it kind of gives us a little Annie shot to the Mando.
Chloe Alice sends her drive into the ground. Let's see if Jessica Weese can get one out there, and she does. Unfortunately, she does end up on the rough. I'm not sure if she'll have a run up from there, but this is a par 5, so she could still get par, as can Chloe. So she sends one towards that Mando, and if she crosses it, that will send her to the drop zone.
Yeah, and that's the treachery right here.
She
on
doesn't
that
get
second
there.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's still safe. Can play around that Mando tree.
It's a really small gap, and going for it is definitely very gutsy, but obviously rewarded just because you do have a great look at the basket.
Weese got so lucky landing right on the edge that she could do a full power standstill, and she got way up there. So she's right by the Mando tree. It could be an awkward 3rd shot, though.
Yeah, she's still going to have to go around it a little bit, but she looks to be short enough to where it won't be too bad.
Hokom lands right in the tunnel, and that's set up perfectly
Yeah.
to either attack the green or just go for another safe layup.
Yeah, that little tree kick definitely kicked her to the perfect position.
Jordan Lynds with a nice hyzer. It's going towards the Mando tree, and now it is finishing
Perfect.
just short of it. That's ideal. She'll be hanging out with Sarah Hokom, looking right down the tunnel. And Chloe's just going for a jump putt placement shot because you have to go the proper way of the Mando, so there's no reason to get greedy and try to do some crazy spike hyzer sidearm or some fancy turnover. Just jump putt it to a good spot and worry about the next
I almost
shot.
expected her to maybe do a little chip forehand just
Yep.
because she likes those.
Yep.
But yeah, very smart play from her. Really, all you need is to get into that middle for just a straight shot at the basket.
100%. All right, we've got Sarah Hokom with her 3rd shot from prime position, the middle of the fairway. Looks like she's going for the green. And she makes it. She's inside the circle, putting for birdie here on the final hole.
Yeah, that was a solid forehand from Sarah.
Now, Jessica Weese is in an awkward spot. She's going to do that. Look at this. Sidearm shot just to get as
Beautiful.
much as she can around the corner.
That was
And we
beautiful.
talked about earlier how great she is with crazy and extreme angles.
There you
and
go.
that was such a good example.
Yeah, who else do you know that has an extreme just
That would be
hyzer?
nobody.
Yeah, nobody. Literally Jess.
All right, Jordan Lynds opting for a sidearm to get around the Mando. Oh, she kind of
Pulls
flattens
it.
it out a bit much and ends up under that palm
Yeah, there might
bush
be an
over
opening,
there.
but yeah, it's tough over there.
And I apologize. I don't know the proper name of that tree. I called it a palm bush. Don't hate me for it. You know what I'm talking about here. All right, Chloe Alice with a sidearm shot. If she can get it, you know,
Go.
the sand is safe,
Yeah.
so that's a putt if you want
Yeah,
it
I think
to be.
everything up here is safe except for the sidewalks that you see.
And the parking lot on the
Yes.
left. And long of the basket.
Correct. Correct.
All right, Weese sends it, and she's
Nice.
inside the bullseye.
Easy.
4-foot putt on 18. I'll take that tomorrow. Lynn scoots into the sand trap, and she could give that a run if she wanted.
Probably for her last putt.
Yeah, it's a putt if you want it to be.
She loves
Chloe
it.
Alice canning
She's
the par
stoked.
putt from the sand trap.
There's the hair.
Yeah,
Finally.
give us that happy jog.
Yeah, that was a great putt.
Solid finish. All right, we've got Hokom from about 20 feet.
Give us another one.
Front of cage. She'll have about a 7-foot drop in here.
I think Sarah is maybe tweaking something in her putt. It looks different. It looks good, but it looks different this weekend for some reason. It might be the cause of these little short misses, because it's not really, I don't know, I don't really see her doing that often.
Hokom gets a par, as does Jessica Weese here on hole 18, and Jordan Lynds tapping in the bogey. What an incredible back nine. Jessica Weese started out with that strong par train, and then it just had a few
Yeah, lots
mistakes
of
that got
movement.
away from her. But Deanne Carey still holding on strong to the lead. My co-host in second, and me in third.
Ooh.
Sarah Hokom in fourth. Aria, Jessica, Jordan, Lindsay, Emily, and Haley Childs rounding out our top 10 after 18 holes on day one here at the New World course in Jacksonville, Florida. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you on round 2.